This Raider bunch has a little bit of a pass rush.
Oh, sports. You wanted to do a sports show.
I just thought I would kind of carry it on.
Max Crosby is a freak show at left defensive end.
Ngakoue, too.
Good, too.
Yeah. What's going to happen is I'm trying to think of a team that the Cowboys have played. Okay, they played the Chargers with Bosa, and him. But they've had Tampa, had a rush on week 1. But I'm trying to think of some other teams that you've played. This team has I think the best of the edges of a pair of edges that you're going to have to deal with. But this is Rod Marinelli. This is run up field as fast as you can and see how disruptive you can be. And really what's going to happen for the Cowboys, fortunately, I think, is they're at home. I think you're going to get back Tyron Smith, and I think you're going to get some stability there because what's going to happen, Crosby and Ngakoue will –
Colleyville's own Max Crosby, by the way.
They will change sides. They don't go inside from what I've seen. They don't go inside to rush, but they stay outside. Now, Chris Jones was moving all over the place, but these guys will flip spots where they rush. So have to keep an eye on 91 and 98. I have a feeling that you're going to probably slide this protection to Crosby on 98.
Yeah, I'd probably, and this is as a confirmed Lyle Collins is really good supporter. I will tell you, this is not my favorite matchup for Lyle Collins because he's a bully, and Max Crosby is your freaky deaky athlete around the corner.
Crosby is not for being long and lean and tall. He's not a guy that's going to let you get his hands. Yeah, get your hands on him. So there's going to be a lot of that where. And it's quick. And he lines up. It's funny. He lines up where he faces inside, where his rush angle is like not square, but inside. And then he goes up. And you're thinking, well, if you get a guy like that, you could hook him. You could hook him in the running game. But he's really quick at kind of bouncing the stuff outside. I think if you're going to run the ball, again, I'm looking at guys. I go in Ngakoue as far as a guy because I think he wants to get up the field as the fast as he can, and I think that creates a little bit of a gap inside. So I try and run the ball at 91. If you get some check with me stuff, which like you could go up the line and say, okay, wherever 91 is, we could check to his side on this run, and I think that's where I would try and start. I think it's going to have to come on the edge right there. Hankins and Jefferson are pretty good inside players. Solomon Thomas, who was drafted by the 49ers, has kind of resuscitated his career and done a pretty nice job there. So you have to also be concerned about their inside linebacker, Denzel Perryman. If you don't block him, he's going to make every single tackle. Seriously.
Miami.
Yeah. He is a really, really good football player. And I think he leads the NFL in tackles, by the way. But he is a guy, and they get away with playing that aggressive style up front because they got a linebacker that can play sideline to sideline and make plays. KJ Wright's part of their package too. But I would worry about number 52, Perryman, making sure that, it's going to be about guards, centers, trying to get up on him, make him have to fight some blocks. It's an interesting secondary. I think they really, really want to be super aggressive. You got to watch out for this Jonathan Abram. He wants to come down and
can't cover, but he'll hurt you.
Yeah, that's
he'll try to hurt you.
He will try and hurt you in the running game. I do think that the cornerbacks, they play off, and especially against the Bengals in the last game I was watching, that they were a little bit fearful of what was going on with the routes and stuff inside. They didn't play much press coverage that I saw, and they allowed some free access and routes, so maybe that will help the Cowboys receivers this week. I just don't think in a short week that they're going to completely adjust and say, okay, we're going to play man coverage and hope for the best. I think there's going to be some walk-off here.
We'll get to see our TCU guy. Trevon Merrick is there.
Merrick is there, yeah. Him and Abram, they're a pretty good safety pair. They have a kid named Dallin Levitt, too, is another one, number 32, that kind of gets in the game as well. So, the defense, I think the pass rush is really, really the biggest issue for this team. And then their Mike linebacker. I think those are the three best players as you look at their defense. On the offensive side of the ball, doesn't have big play receivers. Hunter Renfrow, though, is a really good player out of the slot, though. And
it cracks me up.
Yeah,
they let him run routes that no one in the NFL has ever been allowed to run.
You're absolutely right about that, Jeff. I'm kind of trying to get a gauge about what he's doing. I'm like, what route is that?
He runs like a China route where it's like he went in, out, up, stop, slant.
It's like
come on, man.
He's always looking for space, and he catches the ball extremely well. He's a primary punt returner as well, and he's not afraid to catch it and get up the field. Bryan Edwards is a big body guy that you could give you a little bit of a problem. Zay Jones is a guy I think that, coming out of East Carolina, I thought he was going to have a much better career. But him and Edwards are kind of really one-speed guys. Renfro's a quick guy. They've got Deshaun Jackson on this team for some vertical stuff, but really haven't shown all that much. As Gabo talked about, they haven't run the ball all that much or all that well. And I wonder why, because Josh Jacobs, I think, is a pretty damn good player. I think he's a physical back. There were some runs against Cincinnati where he had like 10, 12 yards, and then they just completely went away from it. Kenyon Drake is the primary that they bring in on the third down stuff. Him and Jacobs, they like to throw the ball to really both of them, so you got to kind of be ready for that stuff coming out of the backfield.
Maybe they don't block that well? Because I've got Jacobs at 3.7 a carry this year, and I picture him as being a good runner.
It's strange because this team is, if you look at it, it's a big front. Alex Leatherwood was a tackle at Alabama who's got some size. They're playing him at right guard. Brandon Parker's the other tackle. He has some size.
Micah Parsons is going to snatch Brandon Parker's soul this week.
You think so?
Yep.
I think so. I'm liking what you're saying about him at right tackle. I think the biggest problem on their offense is Darren Waller, the tight end. And much like what you had a couple of weeks ago with Kyle Pitts, I think that's the kind of, you're going to have to look at coverage on how you handle him in this football game. He is the one guy that has the ability to get up the field, make plays. I will say this, in some of the games I watched, he had some drops. So, hopefully you could catch a break or two with him not catching the ball. But he is a red zone weapon down there. They seem to find, Derek Carr seems to find him an awful lot. So if you're going to attack somebody, again, Jeff's right, attack Brandon Parker, the right tackle, and hopefully you can hold up in the running game with Jacobs and Drake, and they don't get anything going, and they still make Carr have to kind of do everything on his shoulders.